Hello and welcome to Apps and Bros, and this week a very special episode because we're not on the set. We're at a special location out here in Ottawa. We're at Bar Laurel with Andrew, can you introduce yourself to the fantastic viewers of Apps and Bros?
Yeah. So I'm Andrew McDowell. I run a little Spanish tapas bar, focusing on northern Spanish tapas specifically. We are in Hintonburg in Ottawa. It's a fun little spot. We focus on Spanish cuisine, very light, fun. We are a bar, but we have a great organic Spanish wine list, and we take some pride in our beers, because why would we not take pride in our beers when we take pride in our cocktails and wine like everything else?
Yeah, that's the way to go. And the main reason why we're doing this, it's because Micha got in touch with me. He's like, Chris, listen, I just tasted that beer at Cameron's. It's crazy. I don't know. And you need to try it. You need to talk about it on Amsterdam Bros. But it's only in draft. So I'm like, let's just go to one bar that you sold the beer to, and they'll be serving the beer over the upcoming weeks. And so he brought a growler of it, which is straight up from the source. So Micha,
literally,
the viewers again, you're back on the show. That's amazing.
Round two.
So for round two of the Apps and Bros and Cameron's collaboration, what did you brought us on the table or on the bar now that we're actually on a real bar?
So first time, they're all real bars, my friend. Basement or not.
Yeah. All right. You're good with that.
Important part is that we have a growler, which comes in second to what we initially spoke about on the show the first time.
you have a phone ringing. Let's get that.
Who's on the line?
It's Clint.
Oh my god.
That's fine. He's on hold.
That's my boss. So clearly he's checking up on what I'm doing tonight, but clearly I forgot to maybe tell him the agenda. But anyway, so Clint, carrying on.
Clint, thanks. You're on the show now.
You're now officially on the show.
Thanks for coming out.
Director of sales, an amazing guy. He's been in Ottawa, and we're actually going to bring him in here the next time. It's part of the agenda.
Love to meet him.
Comes in town. So carrying on from the Newwood Brett Saison.
Ooh.
This is what we had spoken to about the first time.
Yeah.
This time it's the same Foeder. So we already discussed about how the Foeder has its own biological presence, if you want, from Brett yeast. So if we're all familiar with Brettanomyces, it is originally a yeast strain that comes from the Seine Valley, just to refresh our minds on that, and the Seine Valley being in Belgium. Most of the Brett ales originally come from Belgium. Now, with that in mind, we've concocted the first Newwood, and this one being called the Belgian Virtue. A few places have already had it on tap, but timing wise and being able to bring it on your show, make sure that it stays fresh, because it's only available in a Foeder, was today. So I got this from the brewery. This is a beast of a beer. It's at 7.6. Whereas the Newwood was at 6.7.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's going to be on tap starting this week here at Bar Laurel, which is why I wanted to be able to initiate it. It already was at El Camino, Bar Lupulus, Brothers is already on their second tap. And now that we're going to have that fresh shipment arrive here, I implore you to come and join Mr. McDowell and the rest of the crew and enjoy a pint. So we're going to actually get some of this goodness.
Get that
served up
in the glass.
So you're going to see this beautiful orange hue in there. Some really tight bubbles. Got to give it a little bit of head. This beer has been through quite the process. I'm going to get you a pint as well.
Ah, what a gentleman.
Yes.
A fine gentleman.
Ladies first, right?
Yep.
That's fine.
Ladies and guests.
Birded ladies.
Technically, I'm not a guest on this show. This is your first time before you are the guest. Look at that gorgeous
And you're
head.
a superstar on this show, actually. Your video didn't put us on the map at the beginning, but it really helped us, because it's actually the video that's on Micha's profile on Cameron's Brewing Company website. And I look into my stats a lot of time, and I always got like a really weird link in my stuff, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And it was actually the video from you that was posted on Cameron's Brewing website. So a lot of people are looking up to you, man.
So if you look at the beer, gentlemen, unfiltered. That's the first keynote we're going to look into. It's an unfiltered wild ale. So by wild we mean Brett. Types of strains that you're going to find in there is Brett B and Brett C.
Okay.
Where predominance is going to be given to the Brett B, and that's where you're going to get that beautiful funk. And then after that, Brett C is where you're going to get a little bit more of that fruitiness come out of it. On the nose, beautiful tropicality, a lot of that stone fruit, and I mean, all these things are obviously power of suggestion, but at the end of the day, there's always a general spectrum of flavor profiles that you're going to adhere to, and such with wine tastings and all that other nature. But for this particularity, I find huge stone fruit. And obviously on the first sip, which you guys have already delved into, I'm going to catch up.
Oh yeah, I'm really bad on that. Usually people are like starting talking, I smell, and then I drink. And
I
they're
saw
like,
you go down. I was like, hell yeah, I'm in there too.
I did that with a guy from Brazil, which he was amazing, but he was waiting. He was like describing all the aromas. I was already on my third sip. Yeah. He's like, let's get into this one. I'm like, oh yeah, let's get into this one.
The first sip makes you want to take a second sip. So already I saw you had the reflex. You already went in for your second. I'm going to go in for my second, but that's because there is a combination of different malts and hops, just like all beers do, obviously.
Yeah.
But with the Brett and the addition of a little bit of lactobacillus, you get that little salivation where your palate wants more, so it beckons you to take another sip again.
I do want more.
It's a very it's well-rounded, well complex at the same time, which always ask for another sip. I love the look of the beer in general. That's like the one thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just don't look at it that much, but the head retention is great. On the nose, which like some of Brett's get a lot of like horse blanket funk out of it, kind of like a fresh leather punch through it, and sometimes it kind of like throws you off if it's not balanced well, and this one doesn't show those signs. So I know it's probably because it's not the same strain of Brett that I tried in the past, but in this one, seriously, also used with the Belgian yeast at the beginning, kind of like brings out a nice fruitiness in the beer, a little bit of like the nice orange peel
that's in
out
the
of it.
first fermentation, so it is a blended fermentation by definition. Unfiltered blended fermentation, Foeder grown beer, where obviously the stainless steel won't translate into the Foeder, where the Foeder will be able to translate most of its properties, including the oak, which I find something on my palate to be quite pleasing, and that's what I look for when we release something from our Foeder, particularly as it was a virgin oak barrel when we received it, and I've already mentioned that on the previous segment with the new wood. But yeah, the Belgian yeast, but also the fact that you also include the malts play very nice, but there's a little bit more of that sugar retention or a cara, and there's also a wheats, two types of wheats that are in there, and they all work together to be able to produce more of that fruity balance that you're going to get through it, and the inclusion of Galaxy and YET. And YET is a quite the player in this. So
yeah, it's New Zealand, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not a big fan of Galaxy in general. So if Galaxy is the superstar, I'm literally thrown off. It's way too pungent. I don't know why, but every brewery is like jacked off on it. It's like it's the best, and they like throw it in everything. And once you get like a single hop Galaxy, you're like, that's not my thing. But bringing in like another hop as the star in there, and kind of like using a Galaxy as your bittering hop, I think it's a good way to build a nice beer for an end product.
I also think that like as a beer drinker, but not a connoisseur exactly, when I'm designing my lists most of the time for the bar, what I'm thinking about is approachability. And this is exactly what this beer is 100%. I think it's got a little something for everyone, and that's what I kind of like about it. Yeah. It's full on the palate. It's got that fruit. It's got the hops, but also it's not offensive to by any means, really. It's really not offensive. It's actually just quite a delicious beer at the end of the day, and I think that the blending has a lot to do with that, with the steel and the Foeder oak, but I think they've really hit the nail on the head with this. So because again, it's a beer for the beer lovers, but it's also a beer that I could sell in the bar that anyone could enjoy.
Yeah.
I tell them to enjoy it, they're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, if you don't go like straight up like, it's Asian Foeder 2 fermentation with this and that, and people will be like, whoa, what are you selling? It's just like, taste that, it's good. It's gonna be really good with your Spanish
cuisine
that goes with it.
Fun little bites, you know. It's supposed to be very casual, and so we want our drinks to represent that as well. And I mean, Cameron's has hit the mark here again as well.
And they've been around forever. And we always forget about you guys.
20 years. You don't have to forget about it. It's so easy drinking that you're just like, yeah, I want some more. But
just half of most of our lives. No, it's okay.
It's more than half than mine. I'm 27, right? So it's literally most of my life.
Let's divert from our actual age categories. I'll try to avoid that.
So
9 months. This one spent 9 months.
9 months in the Foeders.
Yeah.
So if people want to grab their hands, of course, there's people out there in Toronto, but everywhere across the Ontario province. I guess it's available in bars mostly.
Yep. Like I said, I mentioned that Bar Laurel is going to be the next one on the newest shipment, meaning that it is not on tap yet. It will be this week, I believe. Am I correct?
Yeah.
I mean, you're the guy leading the show here.
Hey man, as soon as you give me a keg, it's on draft.
I'm just hooking the beer up, man. And then after that, we still have it running at Brothers, also at Lupulus, but I'm not sure when it's going to be scheduled on or off. And El Camino on Elgin actually went through a phenomenal amount of it before I even had the chance to be able to discuss it with you.
Which is it's a good thing when it happened.
But you know what? The next time I'm just gonna go, and then the next thing we have come out of the Foeder, which I have no idea when. Like I said, this one was in there for 9 months. So
that's time, man.
It's time, patience, right? Just like everything else, it takes both of those ingredients to make something perfect, regardless of what materials you're actually using. So
sweet. And then Andrew, if people want to find Bar Laurel, like you guys are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, I guess.
Yeah,
website.
So the thing about us is people hate us because we don't have a sign. You're going to walk right past our building. You're going to wonder what's going on inside.
Yeah.
We really don't do that much marketing.
Okay.
I mean, we are on Instagram. Find us at Bar Laurel on Instagram, as well as our Facebook as well.
Sweet.
Not so much Twitter. I think we have an account, but
I just followed you guys today. And
I don't think it's something we're really into. I'm sorry.
Pretty sure I got you guys.
That's all right.
What we're about is serving treats and having great products and knowledgeable staff.
Wellington West. What's the address?
Wellington West, 1087 Wellington West in Hintonburg,
1087.
just across the river from Gatineau as well. And it's definitely a destination spot that you're going to want to come and check out and kind of
You guys
find.
got a sick patio in the summer too.
And sick patio in the summer,
Yeah.
underrated.
Spent a few nights on that patio.
So did I. I mean, it's rare that I come in on my days off, but when the patio's
it's a
open, I'm out there.
And even though like the building, it's the only black building on the street. Like, it's right there. Every single time I pass by, I'm hooked by that black building and the golden signs on the side. It's right there. So you guys can't really miss it. It's right there.
Yeah.
So if you happen to be around Ottawa, then stop by. If there's some beers available, again, do it. They have a fantastic beer lineup. Always available, like in bottles and also in draft. So don't hesitate. Come by, say hi to Andrew, say hi to Micha, because he's just everywhere in Ottawa. So just catch the orange van and you'll catch him. It's guaranteed. So big thanks to Bar Laurel for hosting us. They actually closed down the restaurant for us today. Not really. It's just
perfect coincidence.
Perfect timing. So cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks a lot for having us, and we'll see you in the next video, guys. And don't forget to subscribe, leave a like on the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Hopefully I'll be in the office or probably in another bar again.
Patience is a virtue.
Oh.
Yeah. And
so is the Belgian Virtue.
Oh, it's good.
So good. Definitely worth talking about on videos.
I think I was crushing it more than you guys, but
I need to talk a little bit more, right?